All right, good morning, Kitty Poos. It is a Tuesday morning. Hope you have a fantastic day, as I say every single morning. Of course, every Tuesday is Adapt or Perish Tuesday with adaptogens, Dr. Alex Hublin and Dr. Josh Claypo. It's a special show we do on the Tony Curry Radio app. It runs at noon and 8. And of course, you go to Spotify, and we mentioned that a million times here. Go to Spotify, just check it out. It's free. You don't have to subscribe. Cost you nothing. Search Tony Curry Radio, Curry with a K, K-U-R-R-E, Tony Curry Radio, and you can see hundreds of different podcasts we do, including Adapt or Perish, which will run a little bit later on this afternoon right here on the Tony Curry Radio. And download the Tony Curry Radio app. Jonathan Wheeler, good morning to you, Jonathan, and Benny Sullivan. A couple things I want to get into this morning. One, it'll be the last thing I get into. A guy just ain't getting enough at home from his wife, and so he posted something on Tik Tok. Not real smart. If you're not getting any, well, maybe he's just kind of reached the end. He's like, you know, what the hell do I got to lose? I'm going to put something out on Facebook. We'll talk about that in a minute. Ozzy Osbourne had his surgery yesterday. We broke the news here yesterday morning. He had spinal surgery. He has evidently 15 pins in and around his neck area. They either became dislodged or he's having some issues with that. It's about a 50-50 proposition to ask anybody that does any type of spinal or back surgery. It's either going to get better or it's going to stay about the same. But he wants to get back on the road. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Ozzy Osbourne. He's in LA right now and he's resting comfortably. We're being told he's 73. We'll find out if he comes out of that surgery for better or for worse. Also, the Rolling Stones last night had to cancel their Amsterdam show because Mick Jagger's got COVID. They're going to cancel that show. They're going to reschedule that show. They pick back up on June 17th. And also Ringo Starr, who played at the BJCC Concert Hall several years ago, one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. Just to see Ringo Starr play drums is just like a bucket list. It's amazing. They've also canceled or postponed 12 shows because of Edgar Winter's COVID positive test. So they're going to be hanging out on the sidelines for a little bit as well. Also on this date, in 1965, there was a song that was performed and written by an artist that is now the most covered rock song in history. Do you know what it is? 1965, guy played it, and it's been covered by more artists than any other song in music, not just rock, but music history. I'll tell you what it is coming up in just a few minutes. Happy birthday to Donald Trump. What do you think he's doing today? Donald Trump turned 76. Happy birthday there, MAGA boy. Yasmin Bleeth, made famous, of course, from the Friends episodes, and, of course, Baywatch. She turns 54. And Boy George, I thought he died. Boy George is 61. By the way, Boy George is on some type of UK You've Got Talent kind of show, and evidently he's killing it. He's worth like $50 million. He's got his own record label, and he's writing music for other kids and everything else. So that's pretty good. All right, so this guy is not having much luck in the bedroom with his wife, and so he took to TikTok. First of all, if you're having issues with having sex as much as you possibly want, and you're going to social media to find answers, probably pretty much done. And maybe he's just run the end of the rope and he's like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to find out what's going on. So he's written down all these ideas and all these things. Well, this is basically what his wife has told him over the last several weeks about why she doesn't want to have sex with him. One of the reasons she said is we did it last week. It's not good. I'm bloated. I want to cuddle. Just wash dishes. Have a headache. Too early. Too late. I got to get up early. She's not in the mood. It's too cold. It's too hot. She also doesn't like to have sex right after the sheets are being washed. I bet you they get the cleanest. They got the cleanest bed wherever they're coming from. She doesn't like them. See, now, to make love on clean sheets is awesome. It's really good. To sleep in clean sheets is awesome too. But she does not want to have sex in the bed right after the sheets are clean because I guess she doesn't want to make them kind of nasty. So obviously a lot of people responded to this guy by saying, you're the reason. Have you tried doing some household chores? It's not her, it's you. Real reason, man help with zero house chores for the kids. So here's the deal. We always think that men wanted a lot more than women, and in some cases we do. You don't hear much about the women who wanted a lot more than the men unless you read Penthouse Forum. And so I'm kind of like thinking to myself, okay, we've all been in a situation, I think most men, that we're not getting it as much as we want, and we start wondering why. And so we start getting this excuses, and we understand that excuses are fine, and I know she's tired, maybe she's run the family, maybe you don't do enough around the house, whatever, but maybe you're a guy who's doing all the right things. You're well engaged with the kids, you do some chores around the house, you work hard, she works hard, but she's still not in the mood. So what happens is, and I've talked to Dr. Josh about this a lot, the guy will start to pout. And guys don't want to be pouters because it makes us look like big pusses. And so we will ask a couple times, and if it doesn't turn out, we'll go, oh, that's okay. I know you're busy, and I know you're tired, and blah 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 blah. And I'm not saying this is happening every day. I'm just talking like, let's say once a week, twice a week, which I think is about the average around here. Not around here, but around here. Not around here. Maybe by myself, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but not with anybody. I'm pretty good, by the way. And so after 3 or 4 times, you start to pout, and you're like, okay, that's fine. And then you start having this thing called a resentment. And when, of course, you have resentments in your life, those can manifest, and you put the resentment chest, and that we know resentments are bad. Resentments are super bad. Resentments make you do some crazy shit. It's not good. And so that will go on for a period of time. And then hopefully she'll come back around. But most guys, we do this, we don't communicate, and we're like, it'll go away. Whenever we have an issue, we have a problem, we have an argument, a debate, whatever, most guys will sit there and just go, whatever, they just shelve it, I'm fine, I'm good, it's all good, don't worry about it, blah, 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 in hopes that it just gets better down the road. A lot of guys do this in their marriage. I was one of them. It'll be fine, it'll figure it out, we love each other, we'll figure it out, it'll be fine, and we won't have to talk about it, it'll go. So when it comes to sex, this is one of those big ones. So here's what you got to do. Because if you're going to TikTok and you're already putting the stuff on social media, obviously she's going to see it. It's over. She's done. That ain't going to help get your woman in the bed. I got news for you. If she sees that you're on TikTok putting all these reasons, it's too late, it's too cold, I'm too hot, or whatever, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to pressure her into her wanting to be with you at all. But again, maybe he's reached the end of his rope. So what you got to do is you got to do the thing that every guy hates. You got to do the thing that you have nothing to lose, because obviously you've reached the end of your rope here. You've got to sit down and say, hey, listen, I love you. I find you super attractive. I think you're smoking hot. We used to be together all the time. I know things are busy. I know we got all these things going around, but I really want to be intimate with you more often. What can I do to make that happen? And then you play your cards. Doesn't necessarily have to be a marriage counselor or anything else, or even a third party. But that's the best way to do it. She'll appreciate the fact that you're being honest. She'll appreciate the fact you want to be with her. And maybe you can finally get the truth. Maybe she goes, I don't find you sexually attractive anymore. Or you're not doing enough around the house anymore. Or you go out and play golf with your buddies all day, and you get home after a couple beers and you just want to be with me, and I feel like I'm being taken for granted. Or maybe she is bloated. Maybe she's gained weight. Maybe she doesn't think she's pretty anymore. That's another thing guys have a hard time dealing with. When a wife or a girlfriend starts, Al Cooper, good morning. When a wife or girlfriend gains weight, or it could be post-child, when they're trying to lose some of that baby weight or whatever, and the woman really believes she's just not attractive anymore, and us guys still think you're smoking hot. And we're like, dude, you are unbelievable. I want to be with you more now than I've ever wanted to be with you. But the woman thinks you're just trying to be nice and you're trying to be honest, and she still doesn't want to have anything to do with you. That's a problem. So you have to talk it out. So say, listen, this is a situation. I want to be with you. I want to be with you more. I'm not talking every single day of the week unless you want to. So what do I got to do to make that happen? And at that point, you put the ball in her court. And assuming you're doing everything right, then she's got some answers she's got to give you. And then you can find out exactly what is it. Is it her? Is it you? The whole, it's not you, it's me. What is the situation? And at least by going that route, you can communicate and then step back. Dr. Josh always says, step back a little bit, let her talk, step back a little bit, and then find out what happens from that point on. Don't think you're going to get it like at noon today, but at least you give her a chance to explain, and maybe there's something that's wrong with you. Maybe you stink. Maybe you've gained weight. Maybe she doesn't find you so much attractive anymore. Maybe you're a pain in the ass. Maybe that's all you want. Maybe the only time you touch her is when you want to have sex. How about a back rub first? All right, it's just my ideas. I'm glad I could help you. A little sex therapy here with Tony Kurre. Go to Spotify, search Tony Kurre Radio. Tony Kurre Radio. We got tons of shows. Blues Almighty with Austin Hanks, brand new show coming up on Thursday. Damon Johnson on the road with Brother Kane. He's going to be doing a show on Friday. It runs at noon and 8. When in Rome with Stuart Rome. Great show. Makes you look good, feel good, sound good. We have Father's Day coming up this Sunday. So if you want to get yourself a great package, dads love pedicures, manicures, massages, facials, the whole 9 yards. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Fantastic. Check that out. We have Livewire Wednesday brought to you by Southern Precision Staffing for all your staffing needs, construction, or anything else. Southern Precision Staffing is the best. 205-682-2828, 205-682-2828. They bring you Livewire Wednesday. Mission Minded with Michael Coleman. We do that show on Wednesday. Adapter Parish today on a Tuesday. And, of course, we did Dark Side of the Pooch last night. And, by the way, we did that show was unbelievable. It was hilarious. So check out all of our shows, and I think you'll like what you hear. And then make sure you get the Tony Kurre Radio app and just listen to classic rock and roll 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have yourself a great day. We'll be on Fox 6 a little bit later on this week on Thursday. Dr. Josh will be in Thursday for the Curry and Claypo show, another show. Oh, by the way, don't forget to check out Workplay at workplay.com. I need to call my buddy Tommy down there. They are back open for business. They got all kinds of great shows going on. And if you go to Workplay and workplay.com, you can check out all the shows that they're doing down at Workplay. A great place and one of our great sponsors here on Tony Kurre Radio. Have a great day. I love you, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. Holy crap, I just remembered I forgot to give you the answer to my trivia question. On this date in 1965, there was a song written that is now the most covered music song of all time. Not just rock, but every musical genre. This song has been covered by more artists than any other song in the world. It was a song written by a guy named Paul McCartney. On this date, he recorded and performed Yesterday. Teresa Ponder, good morning to you. He performed Yesterday. He was trying to figure out a way to get the other three Beatles involved in the recording of the record, and quite frankly, he's like, I got this. I'll do it by myself. There's really no reason to have any one of the Beatles on it back in 1965. And that song has been covered nearly 2,500 different times by different artists. It is the most covered musical song in the history of rock and roll. So there you have it. Yesterday from the Beatles. See ya.